Hey everybody, it's Jason from Growing Up Retro. So today we're going to do another video. I'll be uploading it shortly, and it's all about the top tens from the year 1981. And I hope everybody enjoys it. So please drop your comments in the comment section, and if you get a moment, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and I hope everybody has a great Monday. Thank you.
Hello, friends. Today we're going to look back at some pivotal moments from the year 1981. You never know. One of these events may have even changed your life. These are our top 10 breakthroughs and events from 1981. Number 1. The first IBM personal computer debuted. August 1981 was a significant month for the future of technology. That's when IBM released its first personal computer, aptly named the IBM Personal Computer, or IBM 5150. The computer was introduced on August and went on sale on September. Despite having only 16 kilobytes of memory, it was well reviewed by critics who praised its expandability. At the time, the IBM PC cost around $1,500, which is equivalent to roughly $5,000 today. But despite the price tag, it's safe to say the IBM PC more than lived up to its name. Number 2. The first space shuttle flight. On April 12, 1981, NASA launched Columbia, the first space shuttle to ever fly into orbit. Now known as STS-1, the flight was an incredible success, lasting 2 days. During this time, the reusable spacecraft successfully deployed 2 communication satellites before returning to Earth. Following this monumental launch, 3 further flights took place before the Challenger disaster in 1986. And so the next chapter in America's human spaceflight program was officially opened. Number 3. The year of Reaganomics. After winning the presidential election of 1980, President Ronald Reagan began introducing his sweeping economic policies in 1981. Commonly referred to as Reaganomics, the plan had several key components, including a decrease in taxes and government regulation, as well as an increase in defense spending. The last part was particularly surprising since no president had increased military expenditure quite so much, nor at a time when tax cuts were also being introduced. Ultimately, however, Reagan believed that the boost to the economy would offset the rising military costs. In 1981, he told Time magazine, "I don't believe any responsible analysis can be made unless you assume the economic growth will take care of the deficit. Would you try Reagan's economic strategy today? Let us know in the comments below." Number 4. The first DeLorean rolled off the line. On January 6, 1981, the very first production model of the DeLorean DMC-12 rolled off the assembly line at the company's factory in Dunmurry, Northern Ireland. Named after American financier and founder of the National Automobile Dealers Association, the car had stainless steel bodywork and gull-wing doors. Although it never turned a profit, the DeLorean became incredibly popular following its appearance in the Back to the Future film trilogy. Fewer than 9,000 were ever made, and today they are a highly sought-after collector's item. If you see one, do you think it'll magically transport you through time? Well, maybe if you ask John McFly. Number 5. A future princess made a fashion splash. In July 1981, Lady Diana Spencer married His Royal Highness Prince Charles at St. Paul's Cathedral. The ceremony was televised for an estimated audience of 750 million people worldwide. She looked stunning in a lavish silk taffeta and lace wedding gown with a 25-foot train. This was the longest royal wedding train in history, taking 8 bridesmaids to hold it out behind her as she walked down the aisle. And let's face it, there was nowhere else she could have possibly put it. At the time, many felt the marriage was a royal fairy tale, though sadly, it was far from it. Number 6. The first mobile phone call in the U.S. In 1981, Motorola made history by demonstrating the first commercial mobile phone call in the United States. Though the technology had been used in vehicles for years, this was the first time someone was able to walk around with a brick-sized portable device. The calls were expensive, with users paying around 40 cents per minute, and the phones themselves cost almost $4,000. So they weren't exactly flying off the shelves. But now imagine having to pay over $4,000 for an iPhone. That would certainly put a damper on things. Number 7. The birth of MS-DOS. In November 1981, Microsoft released MS-DOS 1.0. While the software wasn't the company's first offering, it was certainly the most important. MS-DOS, which stands for Microsoft Disk Operating System, was originally designed for the IBM PC, though it went on to become the de facto standard for all future PCs until the late 1990s. It wasn't perfect, but the operating system laid the groundwork for the development of Windows in 1985. Without MS-DOS, the modern PC would certainly be much different than it is today. As Bill Gates once said, MS-DOS was good enough to lure programmers into writing programs for it. Gnome 8, Pac-Man fever took over. Pac-Man fever was sweeping the nation in 1981. Kids and adults alike couldn't get enough of the game. And it wasn't long before it started seeping into the mainstream. For example, the novelty song Pac-Man Fever by Buckner and Garcia became a top 10 hit on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, reaching number 9 in November. The song's infectious beat and lyrics, celebrating the joys of playing Pac-Man, made it a surefire hit. In fact, it remains one of the best-selling arcade game soundtracks of all time. Pac-Man fever was so intense that by 1982, the game had taken over schoolyards, buses, and even classrooms across America. There was simply no escape. Number 9, first U.S. woman appointed to the Supreme Court. On September 25, 1981, Sandra Day O'Connor was sworn in as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. Nominated by President Ronald Reagan, she became the first woman to ever serve on the court. Prior to her historic appointment, she had served as a judge of the Arizona Court of Appeals and as an Arizona state senator. O'Connor's confirmation hearings were watched by over 21 million people on television. And during her 24-year tenure, she proved to be a moderate voice on the bench. Number 10. The AIDS epidemic officially recognized. In the early 1980s, doctors in the United States began noticing a strange illness afflicting young gay men. This baffled medical experts who struggled to diagnose the disease, which eventually led to death. Eventually, it was named AIDS, and the first official report was published by the Center for Disease Control in June 1981. At the time, the CDC didn't know what caused the illness, only that it seemed to be affecting mostly gay men in Los Angeles and San Francisco. However, it didn't take long for cases to spring up all over the country and the world. By 1984, more than 1,000 cases of AIDS were diagnosed each month in the U.S. alone. Unfortunately, it was another 4 years before a definitive cause was found. Since then, massive strides have been made in treating the illness, yet a cure remains elusive. Well, that does it for our list of Top 10 1981. Did your favorite year make the cut? Which decade do you think was the most exciting? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an upload.